Good morning to my Boundless friends. I'm Bethany Kempfert from Boundless LLC, Myofascial Release and Physical Therapy, and I am coming to you today to talk about grounding. Grounding is a visualization exercise that can be very helpful just to help you get a whole body connection. Just let everything within your body have a little more self-awareness. And this is also a really, really wonderful exercise to help with balance. Back when I was working in home care, I used to give this exercise to a lot of my home care patients who had problems with balance because it just did such a good job of helping people to get a better sense of their body connection to the ground and help them engage more of their core muscles to be engaged in that balance effort without necessarily having to try to figure out what muscles they had to use to accomplish that. And that's a really key concept when it comes to using visualization. Our bodies are incredibly complex, so if you say, well, make a muscle. Okay, you know what? We can make a muscle here pretty easily. But if I were to tell you, make a multifidus muscle. Wait, what? Not only what, but how? We have all of these teeny tiny little muscles and big muscles and different things that actually work together to help us have good core strength and good balance, and yet have good flexibility and good ability to move. And trying to tell you individual muscles to use is really not a very effective technique to get the best out of your body. And that's where visualization can be a great way to get more out of your body, because it kind of works on a subconscious level. And you know what? Guess what? Most of our body works on a subconscious level. So visualization is our way of connecting to our body on that level. So grounding. What we're going to do, I'm going to step back so you can see a little bit more of my body, but I have to figure out if there's ways for me to mess with this camera. But for now, you're going to be stuck with about 2/3 of me. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand and imagine yourself being a tree. Okay. Now, if you have any balance issues, I would advise you can do this at a sink with your hands on the sink and over the lip, because that's going to make you feel real secure. And if you do lose your balance, you can get a good hold on that. Or if you have problems that make even standing with support a problem, this is actually something that you can use the same visualizations, only instead of thinking about working through your feet, you can kind of think about working through your hips on a chair. But what you're going to do is you're going to imagine that you're a tree. And so think right now about your feet contacting the floor. I'm going to have you get them a little bit wider so they're just about shoulder width apart. And feel that contact of your feet on the floor. Can you feel your toes on the floor and making contact? Maybe even think about each toe. Spread them out a little bit and have your thoughts be about each toe making contact with the floor. Can you feel your heel making contact with the floor? And then just do a little sway, just so you kind of get a sense of all of that contact all around your foot with the floor. Now we're going to make that a little bit more of a powerful effect. I'm going to have you take a breath in. And as you take a breath in, I want you to visualize that you're growing roots down into the floor, down deep into the floor. So we're going to do a couple breaths just like that. So when you breathe in, there's two parts to this. When you breathe in, you're going to think about reaching for the energy from the sun. So there's going to be a movement upward. When you breathe out, you're drawing that energy from the sun and you're going to bring it down. You're going to grow roots into the floor. All right, with your breath in, you're drawing nutrients from those roots and water from those roots. We're letting that flow up to the top of your tree. You can do this movement with your hands, or you can just visualize that. Then you're drawing that energy from the sunshine and letting it flow back down your body and grow those roots deeper, deeper into the floor, deeper into the earth. Now draw that water, draw those nutrients, let that make its way up your body with your inhale, all the way out, up through the top of your head. You're reaching for that sunshine. Then draw that energy, draw that nutrition that you would get from the sunshine and let that go back down. Grow those roots deeper. Grow them out. Grow them deep. Draw those nutrients, draw that water up through your body again. Up, up, up. Reaching up towards that sun. That's with your inhale. With your exhale, let those nutrients from the sun, that energy from the sun, make its way down. Grow those roots down and see if you can visualize you're growing all the way down, and you're going to wrap those roots right around the center of the earth, right? Okay. So that's basically the grounding exercise in a nutshell. And however you like to visualize that. Some people like to visualize energy flow. Some people, I personally like to visualize fluid flow as part of that. Or I like to kind of make it a literal, thinking about a tree. But breath in is that sense of upward flow. Breath out is that sense of downward flow that should go down into the ground. So already, I would suspect if you think about it, you feel much more solid on the floor than you did when we started. I know I do right now. You should feel much, much firmer. And if we do that little sense of a sway that you did earlier, that should have a very, very different feel than it did in the beginning when we were just thinking about your feet on the ground. Because now as you sway, you've got this sense that you're rooted deeply into the ground. And that should give you a much better sense of your stability. Now that's a really complex thing that gives you that feeling. And it has a lot to do with your whole body connectedness and how you're connected through your breath and your core. This is a little exercise I've actually done I'll throw this little visualization in about growing roots when I'm singing, and I will find that it actually changes the vocal quality of my singing because of how it impacts my muscular engagement of my core. So that's our exercise for today. Tomorrow, after you've all had a chance to play with this, I'm going to branch out a little bit, and we're going to talk about some other balance exercises that I think could be very valuable for any of us to do because of how they, number one, can help keep us more safe. If we're somebody who is at a high fall risk, it can help to decrease your risk of fall. But also these balance exercises are really, really excellent for further engaging the core musculature. And something that's real important for me, because I struggle a little with my hips, is it's really good for helping strengthen the stabilization of your hips and pelvis. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow, and I'm planning that at 10 o'clock. If you have any questions or concerns about anything you've learned or tried here today, you can look up my contact information on my website. That is www.boundlesspt. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't spell. Let's try boundlesspt.com. That is boundlesspt.com. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.